Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Marie Bertoni with Get Clients Everywhere at getclientseverywhere.com. And I am here today for this episode of Share Your Shine interviews with a great old friend that I met many, many years ago in a coaching program. And her name is Karen Stultz, who lives up in Maine. And we are very excited to get together. And I am just really happy to get to spend some time with you all introducing Karen, um, and to hear about what she's up to as she creates an awesome life. So, boy, we met many years ago, Karen. We were in a coaching program together, and we've just
Mhm.
really stayed in touch. Coaching programs are a good thing, by the way, for our listeners because they help you really get connected with an amazing community. But first, let me just tell you a little bit about Karen and what's great about Karen. And also want to say that I'm going to take a minute and I'm actually going to read something because I want to presence her professionally with you. And even though we have this good stuff, because Mercury is still technically a bit retrograde, my printer is on the fritz. And so I wasn't able to print it off. So I'm reading it from my telephone. So we'll have some fun with this. Once we get past this, we're just going to riff and have a good time. So Karen Stultz, and her name is spelled Stultz, is a catalyst for positive change. Now, who wouldn't want that, right? And she works with midlife women who are releasing and eliminating self doubt and sabotage so that they can make their own next phase of their life the best part of their life for sure. And she focuses on fun, freedom, and she's been coaching women for about since 2001. So she's got quite an experience with all of that and lives with her husband. I love this for of over 50 years. That's like, wow, what an acknowledgement for that. Just is amazing. And she lives up in Maine in her island in the woods. Sounds so romantic. Maybe that's a secret to your romantic life. My goodness. So, anyway, Karen makes the journey of transformation both enjoyable and tailored to the uniqueness of her clients. I know that she's been a hypnotherapist and been trained in that, and really helping people kind of uncover a lot of the stuff that's really standing in the way of our own awesomeness. So, Karen, welcome, welcome, welcome to this episode of Share Your Shine. It's great to feature you here today.
Oh, it's so wonderful to be with you again, Marie. And I love to share my shine and see the shine of all of the friends. It is, life is so amazing when we allow it to be.
That's a really good point, because there's a lot of things happening. I mentioned Mercury is retrograde, and I don't know about you, but lately it's been kind of kicking my butt this time. I mean, this was not going to work. The appointment wasn't going to work. The appointment was late. The person was late. The traffic was blocked. All these different things that were going on. But today's April 26th. So for our listeners today, Mercury starts to go direct. So this is a good time to start moving forward. We've also had all those energies of the eclipse and the pink moon and all these things that affect us in some way. We don't always know how they affect us, but they really do. But all of it is helping us if we can stay above all of that mishigas, then what we can do is really do the work that it takes to create our awesome life. So, Karen, let people know when you speak about an awesome life. And Karen, by the way, is the owner of a podcast called Your Awesome Life Podcast. If you want to reach Karen, it's at www.awesomelifepodcast.com. And we'll go back and we'll presence that. But when you talk about an awesome life, what is it that you mean by an awesome life?
For me personally, and each person is different. Each person is unique in what would create an awesome life for them. For me, it's the A, it's an acronym. The A is for awareness and allowing, recognizing what's going on around you, not just in the micro, but the big picture. And at the final E is for enjoyment and fun. You got to have, and so always being aware and allowing what our intentions are, what's going on, who we're connecting with, who is fulfilling us, awareness and allowing, and make it fun, whatever we do. Fun is number one in my life.
Well, that
So,
works for me. It's one of my key values for sure.
That's why we're such good friends, Marie.
What can I say? Let's have fun together. I think we ought to create a new podcast called the most fun life you can possibly have.
Oh, let's do it. Sounds
All
great.
right. Sounds good. I know
And
that in the work that you do, Karen, you help people navigate change, and change
Mhm.
shows up, like you said, very differently for other people. But what do you have to say about, I know that we all talk about change as the most constant thing in life. What's your take on it, and how is it that you work with people?
Well, thank you so much for asking. Yes, it is. Change is the only constant in life. The thing is that most of us resist it. We resist the change, and I'm included. We all do it upon occasion. Some of us more than others. And what happens is the rest of awesome, the wellness, our environment, our connection with spirit,
Mm,
the way we're organized, and the money that we're bringing in is all affected. Change happens. It's a question of what are we going to do about it? Are we going to resist it and say, oh, I hate it. I can't stand it. I don't want it to change. And I'm going to dig my feet in and I'm not going to let it happen. Well, we can do that. We got the power of choice. We're humans and we have the power of choice. However, illness comes in. We start getting sick. Accidents happen. Um, we start hanging out with people and places that may not be fulfilling for us.
mm.
We start self-sabotaging the bottom line. So in my work, it's to release that self-sabotage, bring clarity to what we can change, and the old AA serenity prayer. I love it. It's so
Perfect.
true. It's change what we can, uh, understand and let go of what we can't, and have the wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah. That discerning measure is so important, isn't it?
It truly, truly is.
So many people, they think they can't change. They feel like it's futile. I mean, part of that's like that young conversations in the tapes up here that say either I'm not worth the change,
Mhm.
or I'm not ever able to change, or my community won't want me to be in their community if I'm different.
Mm.
How do you work with something like that? How do you work with your clients?
Well, it's a question of do you want to? Are you happy where you are? Are you happy? Are you feeling good? If you're not feeling good, then whatever is going on is probably not right for you. Uh, we were put on this earth. My personal feeling is that we were put on this earth to be happy, to be healthy, to enjoy life. And if we are not enjoying life, it is time to go back to the A, awareness, and allow and recognize and take responsibility for what is going on around us. Now, I'll tell you what I discovered, Marie, many years ago, shocked the heck out of me. And heaven knows it took me 65 years to get to the point that I could start saying, okay, you know, I don't have to, I don't have to be a people pleaser. I can please myself and stand up. And guess what? When we change inside, which is what my work does, when we are able to change inside, miraculously, everything around us starts changing. And I'll give you an example. Um, when I finally let go of hoping and that my husband and I could go out dancing, for example, my husband told me right from the get-go, I don't dance. Well, I love dancing. And finally, I said, all right, 65 years, um, we're not, I'm not going to be dancing, just deal with it. Or I'll dance by myself in my room, in my office, deal with it. And let it go. My husband comes home with an anniversary card and he says, it's a musical anniversary card. And he said, I thanked him very much. And he said, hey, it's music. Let's dance. What? Yeah. So, every morning and every night we dance to this anniversary card that he got me.
Wow, are you kidding?
I am not kidding. It
Wow, what
starts
a
off
great
our
story.
day, it ends our day, and no matter what went on, it's like everything else is behind us. We are together and we dance every single morning and night now. I didn't do anything. I didn't ask him to change. It was just my desire and releasing the need for change.
I love that. And a great story. I mean, I'm just enrolled with that. I can't even imagine what it would be like to like start my day dancing with my loved one and end my day dancing with a loved one. I mean, that's like such a beautiful image, you know? I mean, thank you for sharing that because I think that could really pique the awareness of a lot of our listeners and our
I,
viewers. That's special.
I also recognize how very fortunate I am. As you mentioned, we've been married over 50 years, and it hasn't always been rainbows and lollipops, heaven knows. What has been is the recognition that we are both trying, we both love each other, and recognizing what we need to let go of in ourselves, not lose ourselves. Very different. Never
Mhm.
lose yourself. That's where the people pleasing comes in. And that's what I took many years to get through. But to love ourselves enough and respect ourselves enough to honor and recognize that we cannot change anyone else.
It's very, very important, you know. And the work, like, you know, you talk about living with a clear intention. I mean, maybe the dancing part for you was you had an intention that even if I have to be in my own room, in my own office and dance, I'm going to do it. That's clarity.
Mhm.
And you let go of the attachment to have to do it with anybody else. And then it somehow, it was like your heart's desire. So you talk a lot about living with intention and leading with your heart. And I think
Mm.
that's a great example of what happened as a result of you doing that. What does it mean to lead with your heart?
In my feeling and my experience with my clients and most anybody I know, if you are enjoying your life, if you are happy inside and out, it is because you are following your heart.
Good point.
It is for me the guiding light. If I cannot reach in and say, all right, here's a situation, here's an opportunity. Here's a person I want to hang out with, and understand the intention for doing all of those things. Why are you doing this opportunity? Why are you hanging out with this person? What what's in it for me? Because it's all about me, right? And it's all about you. It has to work both ways. It's not control, but it is, how is this going to make me feel? And in my heart, if I can feel that inner joy, that peace, then absolutely, by golly, it is the right thing to do, and nothing's going to stop me from doing it.
Sounds good.
And that's why we're together
And
right
that's
now,
why
today.
we're together. So you work with individuals. You have your practice where you work with individuals, and then you've got your podcast. Can you tell people here who is your ideal client? What are your favorite things that you get to work with, the issues that people are dealing with? Do you have a specialty?
uh, I work with midlife women, 45 and up usually. And I call midlife up until 90. That's when we start getting old, just start. Up until that time, we can be vital, we can be alive. and I help them break through any of the self-sabotaging thoughts. As you said, the talk that we have, oh, I can't do that. Well, why not? It's a lot of people said, Karen, you can't do a podcast. It's so hard. And I'm, why? Why is it hard? Why do I need to make it really difficult? Well, guess what? There is no reason. I don't have to make it hard. I
Yeah.
can make it better. But at this moment in time, I'm not going to make it hard. I had my intention for the podcast initially, and that was great. And now I'm able to help others with my guests, including you, Marie, to see the world in a different way, maybe inspiring people to see what is able for them wherever they are. We are all very unique, and yet we're all the same. We have the same hurts, we have the same traumas, and my work is to release those traumas and find solutions and create a roadmap to move forward and have that life. Let go of the things that are keeping you stuck. And again, over 50 years, heaven knows, I allowed a lot of stuff to happen. And guess what? When you start recognizing yourself and allowing yourself to be who you are, and I think a lot of my clients say, I don't know who I am, and I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And they're older than I am, for crying out loud. We're all in that same boat. We all have these transitions, and what are we going to do next? And that's what my work does, is help them identify, what are we going to do next? And let's feel our heart, lead with heart, listen to it. Does that feel really good? Can you feel that inner joy rising inside of you when you think about it? If you can, you were meant to have it. Let's take the steps to create it.
It's great. People now you work with people not just in Maine. You work with
Oh,
people elsewhere.
worldwide. I
Yeah.
only do it over Zoom. I do not see people in person
Okay,
unless
that's
it's
good to
at one
know.
of my retreats. At one of my
Okay.
retreats, I might, or if it was a local, I just did an local EFT training, but in
Okay.
general, it's all online.
Excellent. So if people wanted to reach out to you, the best way is that to leave a message with you at the awesomelifepodcast.com.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
That
So
would
I'm
be
going to say,
great. Or simply give me a call.
okay. Do you want to put your phone number in there?
Yeah, it actually is on my, if you are watching this, but my phone number is area code 207 200 4335.
Terrific. So the question that I want to say to those of us that are listening and viewing this episode is, I mean, I work with a lot of speakers and coach a lot of speakers, and they're dying to get on podcasts.
Mhm.
If they're the right audience, I know you like to talk to your people and make sure that they're the right people for your audience that you're developing. But if they wanted to be a podcast guest, they could reach out to you either at your phone number or awesomelifepodcast.com, and
That
you can
is
have a
correct.
conversation and see what that's about.
That is correct. On the awesomelifepodcast.com, there is a sheet that they can fill out. With that said, no appointment is made until we actually talk ahead of time.
Makes sense.
So one of the ways to make sure to set up an appointment to talk ahead of time is another URL. uh, https karenstultz.com/podcast Let's talk.
Sounds good. Well, we will have this up. We will get all of this done. We will start to post it. We will send you a copy of this video so that you can share it with your audience as well. And I just want to let people know that, in the world that I work in, of coaching women entrepreneurs and helping them to really develop profitable businesses, the world needs all of us right now. The world needs people like Karen and myself, all the other people that I connect with that are part of my women's professional development network community, my coaching community, the world at large. We're all bright lights. And what I love to do in this episode is I like to shine the light on all the cool people that I know that I say are just part of my circle of brilliance, because the world needs us. The world needs a lot of light right now to lift up a lot of the fear and the trepidation and the concern that people have, that not everybody has those, but the people that I'm talking with that are in business, that are women, are kind of like wondering, like, what's going to happen here. And that's why we're here on this episode of Share Your Shine, to really bring some light to all of that that's there. If you'd like to learn more about what I do, you can go to getclientseverywhere.com, send me a message. And Karen, I want to thank you for being with us today. Thanks for sharing your shine. And we will get this out to you so that you can continue to shine and share your shine with all the people you know as well.
Thank you so, so much for having me, Marie. It is wonderful. And I heard the other day an interesting, and I don't know how accurate it is, but it's an interesting possibility that there is one coach for every 268,000 women or people. Well, we have a planet of 8 billion people, right? So yeah, we all need a little coaching now and then.
We sure do. I certainly have got my stash
Yeah,
that I use and work with as well. And if we keep getting better and we keep getting smarter and we keep getting brighter and we keep getting more efficient and more effective, the impact that we can bring in the world to help people along so they too have an awesome life is amazing. I mean,
yeah,
why wouldn't we want to do that?
exactly.
So thank you
Exactly.
for being here today. I really appreciate it. It's Friday. Mercury goes direct today. Have a great weekend, everybody. And Karen, you as well.
Thank you so much, Marie. Have a great weekend.